It's Kambada, the shaman, the god, the crack baby. And right now you're tuned in to Kofi's Universe, the #1 and most truest source for hip-hop news, reaction videos, sports, black culture, and much, much more. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. Bada.
YouTube, salute. I'm here with my breakdown and open dialogue so we can talk about Tupac. Which Tupac album, when he was on death row, was his best work? Was it All Eyez on Me, or was it Makaveli, the Don Illuminati 7-Day Theory? If you're new to my channel, thumbs up the video, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. Also, cast your vote for Kofi's 2020 Lyricist of the Year. You can pick your top 10 rappers that was creative with their albums, on it was featured guests or freestyle in 2020. And check out new interviews from Kambada, Self-Titled, Razzcast, and R.A. the Rugged Man. Those interviews can be found in the interview playlist. All right, y'all, so we're going to start with All Eyez on Me first. Let's break that down. The album came out February 13, 1996. Yes, the album sold over 556,000 units its first week. And some of the people that's featured on that album, we had The Outlaw, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, George Clinton, E40, Redman, Method Man, The Dog Pound, Casey and JoJo, Roger Troutman, and many others. 27 tracks, double CD. Tupac recorded that album in like 2 to 3 weeks from October 13th to October 30th. He recorded the album in Los Angeles. The length of the album is like 1 hour and 33 minutes. Some of the singles you heard of: How Do You Want It To, Ambitions of a Writer, All About You, Two of America's Most Wanted, I Ain't Mad at Ya. Those are some of the top singles that you probably heard from. The producers on the album, we had Johnny J, Daz, Devontae Swing, Mike Mosley. We also had Dr. Dre, like I said, DJ Pooh, Doug Rashid, and Rick Rock, and Bobby Bobcat Irvin. Those are only producers we have on the album. Like I said, yeah. And Harold Scrap Freddie. So some of the tracks that was probably given to Tupac, if you didn't know about, I Got My Mind Made Up. That was a lost Dog Pound track. That was supposed to be on Dog Food. And Inspector Deck was on that track. But they actually found that track when Pac came out of prison and came on death row. They took off Deck track and put Pac on that. So that was like a track that Pac just jumped on real quick and put his verse and took off Deck. That's why you hear at the end, Bliss. Another track, Two of America's Most Wanted, Snoop Dogg track. That was a Snoop Dogg track because he was getting ready to drop the Dogfather. So he was working on that album at the time when he was going to prison. He was going to court. California Love, Dr. Dre, he was working on the next album, but he gave that track to Pac. A lot of these tracks was given to Pac just to let you know. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I'm just telling the truth of what it is, This album right here was an album that took Pac to a next level. It plateaued him to mainstream. Pac was already going platinum, especially with Me Against the World that came out in 1995. This album allowed Pac to go 5 times platinum in that year. Of course, his album went diamond, but Pac was able to take his record career and his rap career to another level. I mean, he did something that nobody saw coming. I mean, every single he was dropping was going platinum. It had the most airplay for the singles he dropped on the radio. His videos was getting the most airplay on BET and MTV. So, that's just being real right there of all that time and that stuff that was going on. All right, Makaveli, the Don Illuminati. This album sold over 665,000 copies his first week. It was becoming the second highest first week of sales of that year. The album was certified quadruple platinum for sales over 4 million copies in the United States. by the time 1999 came around. But this album was only 12 tracks, which I love about this album. Produced by Daryl B. Dig Harper, Hurt M. Bad, Demetrius Shipp, Reggie Moore, Makaveli. Duration of this album is 59 minutes and 5 seconds. The only features are the Outlaws, Aaron Hall, Danny Boy, Casey and JoJo, Val Young, and Badass. This album is very personal for Tupac. He recorded this album in 7 days. He really did record this album in 7 days. A lot of people don't realize that, but it was no lie. It was released in November 5th, 1996, 2 months after Tupac passed away. The album at first was going to be called The 3-Day Theory, and it had 14 tracks, but they took off the 2 tracks, whatever, but it became The 7-Day Theory. Tupac went in, very personal. He had, he was attacking some artists from the East Coast and the West Coast. Chino XL, Exhibit, Mobb Deep, Jay-Z, Biggie Smalls, Nas. So, he was going in, but he also was very conscious on this album when he had songs like White Man's World and sample Khalid Muhammad on that track. He had a commercial song, Toss It Up, don't get me wrong. Hail Mary, was real deep. So this album right here, like I said, a lot of people don't realize was very personal for Tupac because he wanted to put his soul into this album as far as moving away from what he did first with All Eyez on Me. Now, when it comes to production, I think All Eyez on Me beats out The 7-Day Theory, Makaveli. When it comes to flows, Tupac alone, I think Tupac hits harder with tracks like Hail Mary and Blasphemy. Don't get me wrong, we have tracks like Ambitious as a Writer, Hearts of Man, and I Ain't Mad at You. It's very personal, but Tupac really takes it to another level when it comes to that. Lyrics, it's hard to say. It could be even on both albums. But I think Makaveli might edge out with the lyrics. The guest features, I feel like All Eyez on Me has better features when you have, E40, Richie Rich, Method Man, Redman, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Daz, Corrupt. You can't go wrong. Nate Dogg, you can't go wrong with that. Roger Troutman, George Clinton. I think the features win that part. Sequencing, I think more it goes to Makaveli will win out on that category because if you think about it, All Eyez on Me could be a stronger album. It was a double CD, so so many tracks moving back and forth. And I think with Makaveli, those 12 tracks was just straight fire. It was a good classic. Cover art, the album cover, I'm gonna give that to Makaveli, hands down. Advantage, I think Makaveli it has a better advantage. Like I said, and it sold more units than All Eyez on Me is first week. And the impact, I think All Eyez on Me had a commercial dominance and they took Tupac to another level. But I feel like the impact of Makaveli made people like recite some of his songs and remake some of his songs. Think about Jay-Z, Me and My Girlfriend in 2002 and Blueprint 2. That's where he got that from. Against All Odds, things like that. Tupac took on this militant mind, thug type of style. He had that on on All Eyez on Me, but on Makaveli, Tupac was going straight beast warrior mode. Legacy, All Eyez on Me has more of a legacy of that album because it was a double CD, his first album on Death Row, so I would give that to that. And I just believe right now, like I said, if we had to judge who had the better album, I just believe I lean towards Makaveli Makaveli, it was very personal to Tupac because I felt that everything he was going through and going, through in life, he put his heart into Makaveli. All Eyez on Me is a great album. Don't get me wrong. I think that he put his heart in that album too, but I think it was just more that commercial appeal was really for that, and he was just stamping his mark on Death Row and on the music industry, letting people know I'm here. Death Row is taking over. But Makaveli, I feel like he moved away from a lot of like producers that was on Death Row. Because remember, Tupac was getting ready to leave after one more album after Makaveli. He was gonna go with his Makaveli Records and start putting out the Outlaws. So this album was very personal. He wanted to make it personal. He didn't want it to sound like All Eyez on Me. He wanted to let people know I have a different side of me, which I love. So if I had to choose, I love both albums, but I'm choosing Makaveli, the Don Illuminati 7-Day Theory. If you haven't heard the albums, please stream the albums or download or purchase the albums on digital music platforms. Let me know what you think in the community chat section, as far as like the comment section, or if you're looking at this video through a stream right now, thank you. Talk to me, but I want to hear from the community in the comment section. Which album is your favorite and why? Post your comments below. Hulk smash Black Panther the like button. Subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. If you want to support and donate to the channel, I have Patreon, patreon.com/KofiUniverse. Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, Stream Apps, everything's in the description. Until next time, salute.